let's be honest, bro, you're not serious. Like, let's be honest. You're not serious. And the main reason is because you don't even know how to be serious. You know, how can you want something and you say you want something and you don't know how to go and get it? You're not seeking to learn how to go and get it. You know? Don't you know it's through action that change becomes apparent? The reason why I'm even here and I made my first YouTube video, I struggled with communication and speech. I spent a lot of time in my head. Look at me now. This is effortless. I knew that spending enough time speaking, even if it's just to myself, to a camera, I would learn the skills required to be good at it. It would become second nature. Here we are. The title of this video is something along the lines of why I won't usher people into the gym, okay? And the same will go to many other facets of life, right? It won't only be the gym and stuff like that. You know, people will ask me, Michael, how can you make such a claim, such a preposterous claim, Michael, as an online fitness coach? How could you tell people not to go to the gym? It's very simple. It's a very simple reason, okay? And to those of you who it applies to, right, you'll want to hear this. See, with a lot of things, all right, in life that are valuable, you want to go and have nice experiences. You want to be self-employed. You want to be a high earner. You want to be successful in life. You want to have a good level of health and well-being, right? These things they're simple, but they're overlooked. They're not usually the easiest things to accomplish. It's not easy to become successful. These things don't happen overnight, right? There's an adage that goes, Rome was not built in a day, and it's true. You understand? If you're not able to sit somewhere and say to yourself, why do I want these things? And come up with a clear and concise answer that makes sense to you and it makes the utmost sense to you. You cannot lie to yourself because the universe, everything will know and everything will come together and, you know, you'll get slated. You can't lie to yourself, right? You need to come up with the reason why you want what you say you want. And you'll know if it's true, if it's clear and it makes sense to you, if straight after your actions line up with that destiny that you want to live in. You understand? A lot of you want the physique. You want a good physique. You want to be able to look in the mirror and be proud at what looks back. You want to be able to walk in the street and you're getting looked at because your physique is one of a kind. You stand out without trying to. It's effortless. You know, and you carry yourself in a way that is aligned to your physique. You know, such a small part of you. But look at the difference it makes. You want to be that kind of guy. But you will never get there because you don't have the reason why. You don't embody, you aren't the person who is capable of making this change yet. You know? When the going gets tough, what will you do? There's a term I like to use, there's a saying I'm gonna coin it as well. I always try and use it. When push comes to shove, you better be able to fucking shove and push, you know? There's an English term, when push comes to shove, which basically is an easier way of saying, you know, when the going gets tough. You know, when times get hard, you've got to be able to muscle through and thug it out, you know? If you don't have a reason why deep inside, you're not going to be able to push through. You won't have that voice in the back of your mind, you know? You need to properly self-reflect. You need to do a self-evaluation. Ask yourself questions. I'm always asking myself questions and I'm writing down where I'm inadequate, what I'm not good at. I'm trying to improve, even if it's one thing a day. Because honestly, in the long run, it makes a world of difference. You know, I'm my own biggest critique, in all trueness and honesty. You understand? So yeah, you know what they say? They say when the why becomes clear, the how is easy. You know, you need to embody the identity of he who can succeed, he who can train to the fullest. And a lot of you just don't want it bad enough. You just don't want it bad enough. And that's okay, you know? If you want to be one of these guys out here who are subpar in this facet of life, you know, and you just want to be dominated by the guys who are actually taking life serious and are trying to elevate in every manner possible, be my guest. You understand? Be my guest. That's okay. You know, if you wanna be that kind of guy who, when we go on holidays, when the guys we go on holiday, right? And it's just a group of girls around us, and you're just on the side, just walking by, looking around. Oh, hopefully we might get to secure some attention, some, you know. I'll be looking over at you, and I'll just be smiling in the back of my mind because I know I put in the work where you chose not to, and I'm reaping the benefits. You know? And a lot of you will have reasons why you're training, and that's great. That's great. Don't see your failures, your losses, in the way that the masses will see it and want you to see it. No, you can use that as fuel. You know? You can use it as fuel. That lack of confidence that you had growing up, I struggled with it, you know? And I knew I had something special within. But I kind of shielded it away from I hid from it, you know? You might have gone through a breakup. It's a tough situation, you know? Use that. Don't let it harm you. Be smart. You understand? It's all about identity. It's all about identity, purviews, paradigms, the way you see the world, you know? And to some it may sound cliche, and that's good, you know? It just proves that you're on somewhat the right wavelength. But there's still a lot of people out there who are victims. They have victim mentalities and stuff like that. They're not yet on that level that we're on, you know? But I know when I look at you and I'm looking at the camera and I'm speaking and you're hearing this and you're still here, I know it's you that needs this message. It's you that needs the guidelines, the programs, needs the more one-to-one. You need the support, okay, of people who have been through similar situations as you. That's what people like me are here for, you know? I'm at work at the moment, and I don't even know how much time I have left until I have to call it quits on this video. But if I'm being truthfully honest, first stutter in the whole video, right? If I'm being truthfully honest, a lot of you will stay losers. A lot of you will stay losers, you know? And that's okay. There will always be losers the same way there will always be winners. You just gotta choose which one you wanna be, you know? If you'd like to start winning, if there's something in your life that you believe you wanna rise above, I've got links in the descriptions, you know? My name is Michael Knight. It's been a pleasure making this video. I enjoyed it, to be honest. and it was on my chest to do. You know, I wanted to make a video for so long. You know, we're here. I've got so much more to bring. You know what to do. I'm gonna end with my early days quote. Speak once, listen twice. We'll speak soon, gentlemen.